Hi guys, it's Jelly from Spoileralert here. So this time around we are heading out to Animecon World in Jyväskylä, so let's go! We have about one more week until the convention and I have still not started any prep work. I actually am planning only to pack my stuff. There is no new merch for this event, as it is so shortly after my last convention, Hypecon. There has only been 3 weeks between. And to be honest, I have been more busy preparing for my conventions later this year. I have been drawing a lot. Hopefully there are some new prints also coming along. But for this show, as I think it's going to be a bit smaller, I did not do that much. I am a bit nervous about this event because unfortunately they have been part of some controversies since they announced their event, I think 2 years ago. I personally don't have anything against this event, and I really hope that it is a success and that we do really well in the show, but just makes me nervous that people really, I would say, like to hate this convention. I guess there are multiple reasons why the community is against this convention, but I think the main one is the fact that there was some miscommunication in regards to their dates last year when they were first supposed to be held. Originally they had chosen the same dates as another new convention, and after finding out that, they decided to change to a different weekend, and that weekend already another older convention was taking place. So due to this miscommunication, I think they managed to really anger the community here in Finland. But like I said, I really don't have anything against them, and I really hope that people show up. They have a really high profile guest of honor, a lot of cosplay guests of honor, so I really hope that people will turn up and that it turns out to be a great event. So next up we are supposed to be packing, and then for the last week before the show we are just chilling, loading up my card readers and stuff like that, but otherwise it's gonna be pretty easy. So let's pack. Okay, so let's pack. And I'm finished. I was actually really worried because I don't have 2 of my big suitcases, because one of them is currently being repaired, but I think I managed to fit everything just fine. I will be building my cubes beforehand, and those 2 things didn't fit in. But yeah, the 2 suitcases and my box of pillows, some pre-filled pillows, and then a huge bag of the filling are going with me as well. So that's about it. Now we just chill. Okay, so I have a bit of a problem, or actually quite a big problem. Let me show you guys. This is the amount of filling that I'm supposed to be taking with me to Animecon World this weekend, and it's huge. It's supposed to be only 5 kilos, but it is almost human-sized. Here is Mohi also for size comparison. Yeah, I think I can manage with this bag for this weekend, since we are traveling by car, but I'm supposed to be taking the same amount to Närcon in a couple of weeks, and I'm traveling there by public transport, actually by a train, a tram, a ship, and then finally by some other local transport and bus and train and whatever. So much before I can reach the destination, and so yeah, it makes me a bit stressed, but hoping for the best, I guess. Okay, it is day 0, and for some reason I really don't feel like going to a convention this weekend. At least it doesn't feel like we are going to a convention. There's a storm outside, hoping that it subsides for tomorrow. And as per usual, this little kitty cat is starting to be sick right before a convention. So I might have to rush him to the doctor. He has some eye issues again. But other than that, at least I have packed all of my stuff. We leave first thing tomorrow morning, so we do the setup on Saturday morning and then immediately have the convention right after. Tomorrow we are staying at a friend's place. I am trying to cut some costs, so we leave in the morning and then stay at their place for one night, and then we have Sunday of the convention. Luckily Sunday is really short, so I think even though we might be really tired, I think we can manage it. But now I still have to build part of the setup. Since we are setting up tomorrow, I kind of want to build the cube structure ahead of time so that we don't have to stress about finishing that in time tomorrow morning. So let's build. Okay, so we ended up going to the vets. Anyways, it turns out that he is perfectly fine. He just had a bunch of hair stuck inside his inner eyelid, and so after flushing that hair out, he's perfectly fine. Now he's getting his after vets treat. That is a must, so that he doesn't feel bad about the trip. And oh my god, the stress he causes me. It was basically an expensive hair removal today at the emergency vet's office. But at least he is perfectly fine, so I'm really happy with that news. It is really windy outside, so I really hope that the storm passes. It wasn't that rainy today, but the wind is really blowing hard. It's not gonna be a nice ride tomorrow if it's this windy. But yeah, so now I am building the structure next. So let's do it together. I hope the cats will join me. Mohi has also come to enjoy the malt cheese. This is the boy's favorite thing. Favorite treat. Yum yum. The malt in this stuff also helps with the hair digestion, so since they are long haired, they get hairballs if they don't have this kind of stuff. Yum, 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 yum. You can see from his face that it's tasty. Okay, so I'm basically done. This is how far it will go. So I will try to pack all of the pieces together so that tomorrow we just bring one huge lump in the convention center. So yeah, that's about it. Next, I just chill so that I can wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. See you then. Good morning. It is now 5:25 and I'm up at cost. I really struggled getting any sleep last night, so that's fun. But soon we head out. Hopefully Thea lets me sleep a bit in the car. But we are up. Okay, the stuff is out. Now we just wait for Thea. The entire porch is filled with stuff. Oh my my god, why always? Yes, we are on our way now. Here's Thea again, and everything fit just. The cubes are here behind us, and the rest of the stuff is in the trunk. Yeah, so now we're heading to Jyväskylä. Okay, we have found our spot. Here we are. So let's set up. Okay, we are finished with 30 minutes left. I think I could have attached the flowers a bit better at home, but they are hanging there. We are right now having a little snack before we finish with all of the last details. The lights still have to go up there, and some price tags have to go up there, but yeah, we finished well on time. Okay, we are now open for the VIPs for the first 30 minutes, and it's still quite empty here. Can't see anyone except all of the vendors just fixing their stuff. So we were just told that all of the VIPs are still lining up for the guest of honors autographs, and that's why there's no one in the hall. They now opened for all the attendees, and finally people are coming in the hall, so hopefully we get some customers soon. And I also broke my chair, so what a great start to the event. Okay, we are now about an hour in, and after the initial really slow start, the sales have been actually quite decent, and if it keeps up like this, I think we will be doing just fine. It's actually still quite strange that there aren't more people in the hall. It's quite quiet, kind of, but there's still people who are shopping, so strange. Oi, 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 oi. It is now 12:30, and right before 12, the amount of people in the hall actually increased considerably, and now it has slowed down a bit again, but there's still people walking around. Okay, the sales so far have been quite decent. Not great, but doable, I think. Right now it's 2 p.m. and the guest of honors program has started, so the hall has emptied out quite a lot, but there's still someone walking around, hoping that the day continues as it has so far. We have a water issue again. This time we have evidence. The ceiling is dropping water on us. I think it's condensated, but
yeah, that's fine.
This pipe is at fault. But damn, we always have this bad luck. Okay, so we are now about halfway to my goal set for the whole weekend, but it has gotten so slow that I doubt we will reach it. Sundays tend to be super slow compared to Saturdays, and even though we still have 4 hours left of the day, yeah, I don't see it. So it's now about 4 p.m. and it has been quite slow, now actually almost empty, but we have made some sales still. We actually realized that they had set the program or the shows in such a way that there's four programs right after one another, in such a way that everyone is going to be there all the time. So I think they didn't think that part through from the vendor's side. They should have left at least some gaps between popular program. Okay, we just made our food order for tonight, hoping that it arrives right as we close. We have still 1 more hour until the closing time, and yeah, it's super slow, but we did exceed my goals. Thea is laughing at something over there, so distracting me. But yeah, so exceeded my expectations, so good. 10 more minutes left and we made some last minute sales, so now we pack up and head to our accommodations and eating. See you guys tomorrow! Okay, so we just arrived at Pavilion again. It is now day 2 and we had fun at our friend's place, but now it is time to check up on our setup and fix it for the day, and then we are ready for day 2. Okay, during the night we have been rained on even more, so we are now checking if this issue is actually condensed water or something else. So they have decided to move us forwards so that we don't get any water on us anymore. It's a good move. I think we found out that it is not just condensated water, but it looks at least to be clean water. So, and luckily our cotton filling did not get wet. So, good job. So for once we are not making any changes for the table. We once again noticed that the fairy lights were left on for the whole night, and luckily once again they're still going, so no problems from that. Yeah. So yesterday some of the artist vendors complained about the lack of attendees and lack of people in the halls, so I also think it was quiet for most parts of the day, but I think I want to discuss that more in depth in the end of the video. So we are now hoping for a good Sunday and yeah, a successful Sunday. So hoping that there's more people today. Unlikely, but hoping for the best. Now we just wait for the show to open. Okay, we are now open for day 2. There is not yet many room, also not many artists here yet either. We are now 1 hour and 15 minutes into the convention, and after a super strong start with 2 pillow sales in a row, it has slowed down, but we have finally reached the minimum goal I set for the weekend, so I'm happy, and now we just try to get some even higher sales. We still have 5-ish hours left of the show, so there's still a chance. The downside of the day is that there is once again almost a full day of interesting program to take part in for the attendees, so I think we might not see a lot of people in the hall during the entire day. So yeah, it is what it is. Today, the last hour or so has been actually super slow, so I can't imagine this Sunday picking up any, so I guess they're just slowly going towards the end of the show. It's actually been so slow enough for me to organize my storage. I have 5 of these boxes currently, but I wish to bring only 4 of them with me to Närcon Sommar overseas convention. So I've been combining the boxes, the contents. Tomorrow I'm getting a restock order, so that's why I'm leaving some boxes kind of half full, so that I can fill in all of the new ones, new charms. But I guess I still need to do some condensing before Närcon. We have now 2 more hours left of the show, and there's barely anyone walking around, but between these updates we did actually sell a few pillows, which always boosts the sales quite a lot, so happy for that. If we can make just a bit more today, we would have reached my like set goal. The minimum has now been passed, but set goal is also in our sights, so hoping for that. It is so slow that someone has started camping in the middle of the artist alley room. They seem to be kids, so I don't want to be filming them, but yeah, someone is sitting down in the middle of artist alley. Only one more hour to go and then we head home. While I was gone, they have managed to sell 2 more pillows. So we are this close to reaching the number that makes me go, it was a better show than I thought it would be. So we are this close. Yes, with 30 minutes left, we reached my goal by selling one Pachira standee, which I'm super happy about. He is one of my personal favorite characters, so I'm happy to see him find a good home. So now we just wait for the closing time and then pack up and head home. Okay, we have still 10 more minutes, but we start breaking the setup down as there is no one here. So yeah, so now we pack. Home, sweet home. Bye. So it has been now a few days since Animecon World, and I finally feel like I'm ready to talk about the event. I have even written myself some notes this time around just to make sure that I say everything I intend to say. So let's discuss the event. I feel like this convention was unfortunately one of the unluckiest conventions I've ever been to. They really had all this controversy beforehand. Then they also didn't get one of their guest of honors to come because of some strikes on the airport, and we had water raining on us and our chairs broke, and like all of these both unlucky events for the convention, but also unlucky events for us as vendors, just kind of piled up on top of each other. But despite all of that, I think we still had a good convention, and I think at least the attendees really enjoyed the show, which I think is always the most important part. Also, whenever we had any issues, the volunteers came running to help us, especially the Artist Alley coordinator. I really have to thank them. I even said this to them personally, but they really made the event for us. Whenever something happened, they came in and helped us, even upgraded one of our chairs. After one of the previous ones broke, we got one with cushions, so that was really nice of them. Yeah, I think overall the volunteers were really good, trying their best in this show. So despite this show being led by an organization, like a company type of organization, I think still that the volunteers made this event. What I forgot to mention during the show itself was that we were actually accepting the convention's own currency. They invented this Concoin system where volunteers could receive the currency, and you could also win this currency in some games, I think. Yeah, so people would receive this currency and then be able to pay in the convention center for services and products with the coins. And we were accepting the currency even though we were a bit hesitant at first because it has not gone so well in other conventions in the past. But for us, there was no trouble regarding this currency. People would pay with it for our products, and then the convention staff would come and exchange it to cash. So I think the system worked quite nicely, and I even feel that we would have missed out on some sales if we had not decided to accept this currency. During the convention, some vendors were quite loudly complaining about the lack of attendees, and they even made some quite disrespectful TikTok films about it, comparing Animecon World with Dashcon. And I saw those videos on Saturday night. I think the artists have realized that it went a bit overboard with those complaints, and they have, I guess, deleted the videos since. But for me personally, I did not feel like the convention was that bad. They reported about 1,100 attendees, which to me sounds like a about a middle-sized convention. I think for the vendors, the bigger issue, aside from the lack of attendees, was kind of the way the vendor hall was set up. There were these two hallways that led through the vendor hall, and the artist alley was at the way back as like a little pouch where people would gather. That was of course great for us artists, because people would just keep circling around the artist alley and they would just walk past the vendors really fast. So that might have actually affected the sales of the vendors at the start of the vendor hall much more than the actual lack of attendees. Because for me personally, I really did have decent sales, and I felt like even though it was quite quiet in the hall, that the attendees that were there were actually looking around and shopping. Especially I feel like the VIP hour in Finnish conventions is not working. Kota Expo tried it last year, and now Animecon World tried it this year. Same as last year, I think people were just going to the autograph lines instead of coming to the artist alley. So I just feel like letting the vendors set up during the VIP time would be much more beneficial to all of us. This time around we wasted 30 minutes just waiting for people who were not in the hall at all. So yeah, I think conventions in Finland should just drop the VIP thing, at least for the vendor hall. For me personally, the sales were decent, actually quite good, I would say. We did pass the goal that I had set for, like I said in the video, the line where this convention was better than I expected, and we did not pass it by much, but that line was kind of set to compare this convention with my Nekocon Frostbite experience this year. So we only were 30 euros from my Nekocon Frostbite sales, which I think is great considering most people here in Finland consider Nekocon like a really high profit convention. So for me personally, Animecon World ended up being more profitable since I did get some costs cut. So after all of my costs, basically taxes, sales tax, and assistance pay, the travel cost, the parking, and the table, of course, my final profit was about 1,300 euros, which I consider really good profit. It is more than in Nekocon, as I said, and yeah, I can only be very happy with that. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And I will also leave links to my other socials below, so you can check out all of my art over there. And next up for me is going to be Nekocon. It is my hometown convention and basically my birthday event. Also, I am always really excited for Nekocon. I don't know what it is about people here in my hometown, but it's just so chill, so relaxed. Everyone is always in a good mood, and the weather tends to be also great. Hoping that I don't jinx it now, but yeah, just super excited for that. And right after Nekocon, I am also going to Närcon Sommar, which I'm also preparing for. So hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.